Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again. And I just want to say a couple of more things, if you don't mind. What we have learned here in America, and America has been good, it has proven itself really good, that religion in America has less value than horse manure. At least you can use it for something. In America, it doesn't mean that religion is all bad or has no significance. But in America, it is nothing but white supremacy. It's nothing but look, let me put it to you this way. This 2020 election, you've heard all of these people call themselves evangelicals and fundamentalists, right wing, that special group of people. You got a whole bunch of black people there too trying to be connected with them. And they're out there talking about this great dude, Donald Trump, who's been sent by God. Doesn't matter what he's done. He's been sent by God. It's like God reached down in the pit of hell and chose Satan and say, let's send this Satan to America. And you know what? When this Satan rose up to come to America, it's like this the religious order of here in America, especially one that calls themselves the only one that's worth anything. You know, the ones that own the jets, the one who talk about planting all the thousands and thousands of dollars in the ground so that they can be blessed while you wait on God. You know, this one, it was like they were praying for this devil, praying for this demon, praying for this demon to come up and give them what they want. I even heard one, I think a guy with the House of Representatives from, I kind of forgotten now what his name is, and I'm not going to try to remember his name. But he said, give us someone that will get up from point A to point B. We don't care if it is a devil. We get him. He didn't say we don't care if it is a devil. He suggested that it didn't matter who came. If he got you from point A to point B, you'd rather have that than a religious man talking about values and stuff. And so this is indicating exactly what religion in America is all about. Now, let me give you some examples. See, in America, these are the fundamentalists. These are the evangelical right wing, the white people who call themselves the precious special one from God, the one that they put in the book that God looks like, white, long hair, and blue hair, you know, stuff like that. And so they had taught something about love. They talked about Jesus being such a kind, wonderful guy, that he would feed the hungry, he would do all these wonderful things for people. He to the extent that he even gave his life to protect them, so that God would receive them into righteousness, even though they weren't righteous. Man, oh man, oh man, they had it so good. And they taught people who weren't aware of what the game was, that this stuff was real. Most people who go to church, they believe this stuff is absolutely real. They pray, they give their money, they get on their knees, they ask God, they thank God, and when things happen for them, they say it's coming from God. Well, people who don't go to church, the same thing happened for them. They don't say it's from God. They just say it happened. They gave it an effort and it came through. But these others have been trained to say that it comes from God. Okay? Okay, now here we go. This is a presidential election. You've seen some stuff that you've never seen before. You've heard these major preachers talking about bringing angels from Africa, bringing angels from Central America, from Guatemala, every these places where they used to call whole countries. They're calling all these angels to come and bless Donald Trump. God has prophesied that Donald Trump is, and this is all the stuff that's going to happen, all this wonderful stuff. And I'm looking at this because for a while there, I called myself a preacher, but I preached love. I preached a whole different message. I never heard anything like this except when you talked about the devil, and they talked about the devil just like this. They told you the devil was a liar. He was a cheater. He was a whoremonger. The devil was every warmonger. The devil was everything that they said Donald Trump was, but that's what they wanted. In fact, when he started running, those guys even said, they identified, Mr. Devil, here comes the devil. They didn't say the expression. They used other adjectives. Here comes the devil. Here comes the devil. And once the devil got in, they said, oh, thank you, devil. Thank you, devil. Now I'm sitting here and I'm listening to these people. Now let me tell you something. God cannot be mocked. And God is not made a fool of. See, this is what they are telling you about God, Donald Trump. Let me tell you, God did send a man to America to seek office of the President of the United States. And what God offered to the people of America was the answer to the things that they had been asking preachers to pray for. And so this preacher that God sent offered them that their needs, that their wants and their desires would be fulfilled, because these were inalienable rights of God for those who loved God. The message was that you would have peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life and the fulfillment of your dreams. That your food, clothing, and shelter would never be denied. You guaranteed that. You guaranteed education from the womb to the tomb, unlimited and unrestricted. Healthcare also from the womb to the tomb. And all of this was to be guaranteed. And the process is that the resources came from God for people who had a need and a desire and a want, who could engage themselves in the process through a career of their own choosing that would actually give them their greatest joy. And they could have all of the things I just mentioned without lying, without cheating, without stealing, without con artists, without hatred, without racism, without bigotry, without money. Yes, my friends, without money. That's what God's man brought to America. He ran as president of the United States. The news media would not say one word about it. Well, I must say that I believe there were some editors who had received the message and they mentioned it, but it didn't catch on. Nobody was interested in that. Nobody was interested in that. So we figured they missed it. A couple of more times, presidential election, God sent the same message to the people that every time they rejected it. And then when Donald Trump decided to rise up out of the pit of hell and walk down that escalator, accusing everybody, Mexicans of being rapists and black people of being killers and dope dealers, when that was actually, he knew what was going on because he was king of that stuff. As soon as he said it, the news media for that whole election period could not take the camera off. They could not take the camera off. He challenged these people, and they loved it. The other person that ran for office to bring the godly message was totally ignored. They didn't want to hear it. They did not want to hear it. I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, most of you who hear what I'm saying to you right now, you never heard of it. A man coming and offered these kinds of things that I just mentioned to you, oh, that's absurd. Who's going to do that? Well, see, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story. You heard somewhere that Jesus came and the Jews rejected him. Why? Because he came like that. They went on a white horse, kicking everybody's butt. Kicking everybody's butt. So as I sit there and I'm thinking about this, what these people are saying, how God has blessed America, and I'm looking at the God of love that somebody was talking about. They used to talk about him every Sunday morning. Now all of a sudden, these evangelicals, these fundamentalist right-wing Christians who are over there talking about Donald Trump are excited that we could now, with this man, you could take people and put them before firing squads and kill them. This man, people who say things against him, you can put them in jail, kill their whole family. This man want to start putting people in, like they did, like what they talked about Hitler and said things that Hitler did was wrong to the Jews. Now he wants to start talking about putting people in concentration camps and then putting them in gas and them burning them up. And this is what? This is the people who call themselves prophets of God, telling you this is what God wants for Donald Trump. Listen, let me tell you something. That's a trick. That's Satan using every last one of those guys who were saying these kinds of things. Now, I'm going to tell you, straight up from the pit of hell, Satan. You know what? They weren't only white. They were black. They weren't only men. They were women. And they were all over this country. They say 71, at least between 71 and 74 million people in this country said we want Satan. We don't want anybody else. Well, you say if you're going to call Donald, you want to say Joe Biden was no good. But see, I'm not even talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden was not the man that God sent. Joe Biden is just the other man that came up because they didn't want to go all the way to hell with Donald Trump, and they're trying to hold off. The man that God sent got no recognition. No recognition at all. But everything that he represented, everything that God gave him to tell has been documented. I mean, he went to some extremes to reach the people. But what I see and what I recognize is hell. This is pure hell. Now, why do I say that? Because the message that God sent to America was not welcomed by the church. Let me tell you something about that man. The man that God sent to give you and offer to you the answer to your prayers couldn't even get an invitation in his family churches. Couldn't even get his kids to support that idea. I mean, the ones who could vote. Couldn't even get them to support that idea. It was all about stupid stuff. What was stupid stuff? You can't, you can't, you can't. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I sit here tonight and I just got through listening to Oral Roberts. Not Oral Roberts, what that guy name? With the big airplane and they're talking about the AP said Donald Trump was going that I bet Joe Biden gonna be president. He started laughing. Kenneth Copeland. Yeah, Kenneth Copeland. Oh man, all that game. Paul White, Kenneth Copeland. In fact, all of them. Every last one of them. To a T. Trump. God. Trump. And to me, all I saw was Satan. Oh yeah. You know, in the scripture they say Satan told Jesus, say, look, if you follow me, let me be your boss, paraphrasing, I'll give you jets. You can have several jets. If you worship me, I'll give you a mansion and land and prestige and give you freedom to walk in, talk to the president. I'll do all these things for you, if you will. Let me be your boss. And that they got the jets, they got the planes, they got the land, they got all of this liberty that they've stolen from the people by using the devil's plan. And the people still have not recognized it. They still have not recognized it. They still go and ask somebody to pray for them that they can have food, that their Social Security check is not reduced, that they can get access to Medicare. They still asking people to pray for them that they might be able to get their rent paid. They're still asking people to pay for them that their kids can go to school, if they go to the hospital, they can get some service. They're still asking people to help them protect their children who are being shot down in the streets by policemen. They are out there asking all these kinds of things, asking people to pray for them. And yet when that answer came, they all, you know what? It's not that they just rejected it. They never heard it because the media never told them. The media didn't want them to know because it might have had a different effect. But the ones who heard it, they didn't believe it. Well, no big deal. That's the way of the world. I just thought I'd share that with you, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time, goodbye.